Good morning. It is time for harmonica class. My name is Gary. You want to go to mammothgardens.com to pick up our sheet music. We play harmonica here every day. I get everybody started for the day, and then I send you off to work on your own. And we have a couple of goals. One, to get you comfy playing melody on a harmonica. And the other goal is to I think that's the only goal. I'm trying to think. Do I have other goal? Oh, just to make you smarter about music. That's the one thing I want to do. Is always just give you a reason to keep showing up and playing. Let's see. Open a new window, update and update. All right. So I got the link posted on our website, and of course we want to tweet what we're up to here. Website is mammothgardens.com. https://mammothgardens.com. You can just click on the harmonica girl tweet, and it's all lovely. Weekday harmonica. This is class number 74. It will be essentially identical to class number 1. Every class is basically the same. On Mondays, I do a little bit more discussion on how to play. As the week goes on, I do less and less of that, so that by the end of the week, you are already a professional. You don't need me to tell you anymore. Each day we do a warm-up exercise. Today our warm-up song is Ode to Joy by Beethoven. Then we do some scales on the diatonic harmonica, the little guy. And if you don't own a harmonica, well, you wouldn't be looking at this if you didn't own one, but you want to make sure it's in the key of C, and then do a couple warm-up exercises on that. Today we are playing Amazing Grace. What we're doing is cycling through our harmonica library now, so I toss in a new tune. I'm hoping to have a new tune for everybody tomorrow, a couple new tunes for tomorrow. I'm not sure what the chromatic one's going to be yet, but I got Mr. Bojangles. I didn't realize it had 500 verses. I'm trying to get all those lyrics typed into the sheet music, and so we're doing that one for a diatonics tomorrow. And then, but today we'll be playing Amazing Grace. Then we switch to chromatic. That's the one with the button on it. And you can use a 10 hole or 12 hole, or I happen to have a 16 hole. They're all the same. They just have fewer notes up here, or a 16 hole has extra notes down here that I don't know what you use them for. But you need the button for the chromatic stuff. And we will eventually be doing scales on those. I have to sit down for a minute and write those out. And today we're playing Beautiful Dreamer, an old Stephen Foster tune, which is absolutely beautiful and kind of hard to play, actually. And so it'll be fun to do that one today. And then the other thing we do, I don't have one posted for this week, but each week I give you a sheet of music, not each week, every other week or so, give you a tune that does not have the tablature on there, so you get a chance to start studying how the music flows on regular sheet music, so that ultimately you don't need harmonica tablature at all. You just need some sheet music. Any songbook will do you just fine as long as you know the song. You go through and just read the lyrics line and play your harmonica just using the notes, and eventually you don't need any sheet music, or you don't need it. Well, eventually you don't need sheet music, but if you do have a new song you want to try, it's nice to just be able to play from the singer's line, the lyrics line, and just read the standard notation. Usually for that you're going to need a chromatic, and so we work on that a little bit more than the other one. Kat is in. Good morning, Kat. Melissa is Kat's from Texarkana. Can you believe that? Melissa's in from Boulder. That's even more hard to believe. Sandy's in from Upper Michigan. Marianne is in today. Marianne is from Parker, Colorado, right, Marianne? Gosh, we have 3 Mariannes, oddly enough, that show up in different classes, and I think I have them all straight. Marianne S shows up from Michigan. Marianne G shows up from South Denver. We call it Parker here because it's fancy. And Marianne H shows up to guitar. She's from Denver. So let's see. Marcia's in. Is it windy outside? I didn't notice. Marcia's a local with me here. Doesn't look windy from here. Maybe it's just you, Marcia. And all right. Diane is here. She still lives. She's still local here. We're broadcasting from Denver. Um, but that doesn't mean you have to be from Denver. We play harmonica wherever you are at. Okay, let's get some sheet music going. Playing "Ode to Joy" to start the day off. And remember what your goals are here for this. One, obviously, to get to where you can pretty good at playing harmonica. That's going to happen no matter what. But two, good breathing activity. We want to make sure our lungs are super strong and that we're using them in a smart way on a day-to-day basis. And that's one of the things that the harmonic can do is just make you a better breather. And so there's that. And then two, of course, is getting smarter with music in general and how do you read sheet music and how you get involved in all that. There are lots and lots of players who are like, I don't read no stinking sheet music. I don't need to. Well, you're going to limit yourself to folk music if that's true. And there's very few players who play very advanced repertoire who don't also read sheet music. And our goal is for you to play everything. And so in order to do that, you got to spend a little time learning to read sheet music, which is what we do here. Let's see. Marcia says in Golden, the foothills. So she's up against the mountains. So they get a lot more wind over there than we do downtown. Let's see. Good morning, Lindy. Lindy lives in South Denver. We used to call it Littleton. Then they decided they need to be fancy, so they got a new name, Centennial. Ode to Joy. 4-beat count in. We play it through twice. First time you play measure 16, the last time you don't play measure 16. And we're going to blow 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't that fun? You're playing Beethoven. That's pretty decent, right? On this. Really fun. Guys, I've been starting to do a little bit of investigation into whether it's worth working on some tongue blocking exercises. And I'll just mention it today. I am going to probably put this as part of our theory discussion about whether it makes any sense to even do it. And this tongue blocking is where you cover 4 holes at once. And then you use your tongue over here on the side of your tongue to block these 3 holes over to the left side. it's worth getting started on. It's kind of gross, but your tongue is going to cover holes 1, 2, and 3, and then you're going to be blowing through hole number 4 just like you would. And then what you will do is then you start pulling your tongue away to get the chord in there at the same time. So it's not something I'm good at yet, but it will be fun for us to start talking about a little bit. Gets that kind of old-timey sound where the melody note is going and the chords are happening at the same time. And Marcia says my initial thought is ew. But in order to really master the instrument, tongue blocking is something you have to do. And so we'll mess around with it a little bit. I'll try to come up with a song that's mostly in that's all C notes, probably like Twinkle or Three Blind Mice or something, where it's all C chords. And then every time you blow, you would start the blow and pull your tongue away to get the chord in there. It'll make you sound much more old timey and much more I don't know, give you a different feeling to the songs you're playing than just straight melody. But I started doing a little investigation in that, and I'll see if I can get where I can do something with it. I know all of the advanced harmonica players, that's what they do is tongue blocking, and so it'll be kind of fun for us to mess around with. And like Marcia says, ew. All right, let's see. Christine, I have 2 diatonic Horner harmonicas. The golden melody harmonica plays the upper notes poorly, so I'm using the Skoll. I clean the golden melody with no improvement. Do harmonicas go bad? Yeah, harmonicas go bad. They really do. If you get it perfectly clean, sometimes they just get knocked around a lot, and sometimes those reeds will just move over just a smidge, and then they just don't work as well as they do. There are guys who get where they go in and modify them and file them and do all this stuff. I can never quite figure out why you would do that when a brand new harmonica is top of the line diatonic is $60. But yeah, they can go bad. And Krampus. I would say also the golden melodies are not that great of harmonicas to start off with, and so as they age, get rust and just weird dirt and crud in there. Even if you clean them out, they can go bad on you. And so it's just one of those things. You just that one's no good. Throw it out and get a new one. That's why you're always working extra hard in your careers to save up enough money to buy your next harmonica, right? Because they do go bad. Lindy has now got a cramp in her tongue. All day long she's gonna be like, hey everybody, how you doing? So yeah, tongue blocking, it's a thing. It is a thing, guys, and I want us to, even if we don't play in that style, I do want to have a way for you to practice it, because one of you is going to be like, oh, I love doing this. This is really super fun. And then we'll have you do that. All right, let's play our scales, C scale and A minor scale. That's on your diatonic notes in C. We'll start with the C major scale. 4-beat count in, go all the way up, all the way back. And that last note is extra long. And then we come back and we play the whole thing again. So the C major scale, please. 4-beat count in, blow 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel good when you get it well. When you're getting nice tone out of your harmonica. Sometimes harmonica can fight back. You get to these upper notes and they really start fighting you. But when you're having all just through the middle there and all of the notes are making sense, and it's a very pleasant tone. Let's do the A minor scale. We'll draw a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel your lungs getting full of air, right? One of the things I find when I get, especially when it's the second time around, I get minus 7, -6, and then another -6 and a -7. When I see that 7, I'm just getting rid of as much air as I possibly can as quickly as I can, and comes out of your nose pretty quickly. um, the other thing I know is this is a newer marine band, and I'm still having plastic stuff sort of come out of it from time to time. You know, I end up with this weird junk in my face, um, and so that's another thing that's kind of fun about playing harmonica is weird stuff that shows up in your mouth. All right, keeping it real, guys. This is a kind of a gross activity. All right. Next up, today's Tuesday. We're gonna go play Amazing Grace. We haven't played that in a long, long time. Um, Old-fashioned spiritual tune, and 1779, guys. 1779. That's pretty old. You're supposed to play this through 4 times. That's 2 times too many, so we'll play it through twice. And as I look through it, I'm thinking, okay, I got some -8s, I got a 9 in there, so we are definitely on the upper end of this harmonica, which means that obviously it's going to be a little harder to play than some of the, the warm-up tunes. And if I were getting ready to play this for somebody, hey, come play my dad's funeral or whatever, he loved harmonica. Um, you would want to sit out in the car and play for a while and make sure that your harmonica is just as warm and as used as you can, because what will happen is 7s, 8s, and 9s and 10s get much easier to play when your harmonica is warmed up and you've had a chance to really attack it a little bit. If you take a cold harmonica and try to play it, it will fight back on those upper notes. So don't know if mine's warm enough yet, but we'll find out. It's going to be a 2-beat count in. We're going to play all the way down to 15, and then we're going to come back and play it a second time, but we'll skip measure 15 and play measure 16 to finish up. Also, note that on all of the pieces I've been creating for harmonica, this is the one thing that I'm doing that's different. Like, you can go out and buy harmonica books, but they have tab in there. They're easy to find. There's quite a few of them. But what I notice is there are always these harmonica books, and what I'm trying to get to you guys is a book that's more useful than just for harmonicas. So in other words, if you have a friend who plays piano or guitar or ukulele, they can play along with you, and you have a much more fun time, honestly. And all piano players know how to play these chords. These are not complicated chords. And ukulele players and guitar players all have exactly what they need as well. That way you can have a backup band and you still are the lead because you're playing the melody and you have the high voicing with this instrument. It looks like you're playing on the treble clef, but you're actually playing on an octave higher than the treble clef. So you are still the star. You're still the one up at the microphone. You're still the one in the gets the center of attention. And with this type of sheet music, you have lots of things going on. Among them, if you get to measure 16 and you see I play 7 beats, but there's a 17th measure, what do I do with that? Well, that's where the guitar player or the piano player goes, blong, right? And so you have ensemble music that you're playing here, which is not something you can buy for harmonica, generally speaking. A lot of them will have the guitar chords on there, but they don't have, fully thought through ensemble arrangements. So don't think that this is just to play ukulele or play harmonica. You can play these types of music with other people, and that's kind of an opportunity for you to introduce this weird activity to them. And the minute they see that you can play this with this, they're going to want you to teach them. And so that's why you have all of the stuff that you have, and you guys are getting pretty good at it, right? So here we go. 2-beat count in, blow 6, 2 times through. 1, 2. as your guitar player. Let's play it one more time. I did the first time through okay, and the second time through I didn't do so well. So I want to play it one more time. Um, let's see. Sandy says, I like this one on my G. Yeah, those high notes, the nines, eights, and nines are pretty darn high. They're almost like whistles. Not almost, they are whistles, right? If you had a tin whistle, that's why you grab your G harmonica. Not when we're here in an ensemble, but when we're playing by ourselves, you can take a G harmonica, just lower the overall tonality, and you end up with a pretty nice tune. And so yeah, don't be shy about getting yourself a second harmonica. G would be my if I had could only afford the harmonica for class and then one other harmonica. There's no question in my mind it would be a G harmonica. Obviously, I want you guys also on a chromatic because that's going to turn you into a musician more than just a harmonica player. But the chromatics are obviously more expensive. Not this one we found. This 1040 is really quite a delight to have. Lindy says, the one thing I like about the Hohner crossover is that those high notes are much easier to blow and draw. Yeah, that's the reason you pay a little bit more for a harmonica is to make these a little bit easier to deal with. Yeah, the less expensive ones, you can do them, it just takes a lot more work and they're not as reliable. And that's lovely that the crossover is giving you that. A couple weeks off definitely shows up in how yeah, right? That's an interesting thing. You're like, okay, I can run the stairs, no problem. And then you take a couple weeks off and then you can't run the stairs anymore. That's why continuing to show up and continuing to do this thing. Let your people that that have breathing challenges, hey, come on over and play harmonica with me, or join in Gary's YouTube idea, because I do think with our lungs we have this tendency to breathe very shallowly and not play particular and not do the right things for our lungs unless you're out walking every day and jogging or doing that kind of stuff. You gotta do something every day to keep your lungs. I notice my studio's over on it's on the third floor, but it feels like the 99th floor in that old church that I'm in. And when I first moved in there, man, these stairs were a bummer. And these days it's no big deal. But I take Christmas off, don't go over there for a couple weeks, and all of a sudden those stairs are like, oh, I'm glad when I get to the top kind of thing. So it's fascinating about lungs that they really do need to be worked, and this is a great way to do it. Christine, looks like I need a new harmonica. What brand or style do you recommend? So on the front page of the website, on the page where the link shows up, just scroll down, Christine. I got 3 recommendations. The Folkmaster's the inexpensive one, about $20. Those are what I sell over in my studio. They're just fine. They're great. But again, like all of the less expensive ones, the upper notes are pretty challenging. And then the special, the Hohner special is another one I recommend. Sort of a mid-price one, very beautiful toning, pretty easy to play. And then these guys over here have all said, hey, I bet when I had made the commitment to the expensive one, the crossover, and we got nothing but glowing reviews from those. So. Yeah, so those are the things I would recommend. It depends on your price tolerance, right? Obviously, if you got $60, you should get a crossover, but they are kind of expensive. Let's play Amazing Grace one more time, and then we'll play the chromatic for the day. From the top, 2 times through, 2-beat count in, blow 6. 1, 2. Beautiful, right? All right. Now, if you are diatonic only, you are not quitting, right? You got a few more minutes here on your own. You are playing through the songs of the week. So, all through the night from yesterday. We also got Black is the Color of My True Love's Hair. You guys will remember from the first time around. That's a pretty challenging tune. So, that'll keep you busy. Also, be practicing Ode to Joy, Simple Gifts, When the Saints Go Marching In, You Are My Sunshine. So, that should keep you, give you plenty to do. My hope is Mr. Bojangles will. It has 5,000 verses, and none of them line up exactly the way I want them to. So I'm about got those all typed in now, and so it'll be a fine piece of music. I think I'll have that posted for you guys tomorrow. If I don't have it ready, we will move "Black Is the Color of My True Love's Hair" up for tomorrow's tune, and we'll do Mr. Bojangles on Thursday. And my plan again is just to continue rotating through our harmonica library. Each as we there's 30 songs or something like that on there, and so we'll be just continually rotating those through, so that the fact that you spent some money printing out these songs and they're in your book will be of some value to you, and eventually you'll get really good at all of the songs. And then let's switch over to the chromatic piece. My chromatic, there's the box. You ever grab the box and you're like, well, that's not helpful. So on your chromatics, the same thing we're going to be doing is just playing through our library. That library is smaller because my focus was to get the diatonic stuff together first, but that library is going to start growing and will grow quite dramatically because I have lots and lots of sheet music fully arranged for other instruments that require a chromatic, and so all I have to do is sit down and type in the notes, and we will have those. So that library is going to grow quite a bit more quickly, and so if you haven't bought your chromatic yet, you might want to think about it. Again, on the front page of the website, there's plenty of information on that as to how we're playing these various tunes and which harmonica you want to use them. Let's see. Today we're playing Beautiful Dreamer. This is one of the tougher ones in our book, and so let's take just a moment to talk about it. You're going to be, remember Frances, she says, man, I want to press this button more. Well, here we go. When you get to a song that's not, you're playing it on a C chromatic, but it's not in the key of C. This one's in the key of D. What that's going to mean is you're pressing the button a whole lot more, and that's kind of fun, right? Yeah, it just dramatically increases your chance for failure. And there's no such thing as failure in music. It's just jazz is what we call it. And so this piece is, it doesn't bounce around all over the harmonica too much, a little bit, but not a lot, but just enough to drive you nuts. But the real challenge here is you got a lot of draws and you got a lot of buttons, and so managing your breath is going to be fairly important as you go through this. Also, the other challenge is a lot of times you don't know these old songs, okay? And if you don't know the song, your best weapon is to go to the MP3 player on the website there on the harmonica library page. Every single song in our entire repertoire is got an MP3 recording for it. Go listen to that a few times, and if you're really feeling it, try to play along to the recording. That can be quite challenging because this recording serves as a metronome, and for a lot of people, metronomes take the fun out of music, so I don't necessarily recommend it, but it is something to kind of test yourself on and see if you're there and up to date. So Evelyn, welcome in. Beautiful Dreamer works better for me on the Swan than my other Honer. Oh, isn't that interesting? Isn't that fun? I find I have this super fancy Suzuki, which is I adore the button. You should feel this. It's just like gush, right? It's absolutely lovely button. But overall, I'd say I'm iffy on the instrument itself, and I definitely prefer playing my Honer, but the Honer, the ninth reed got stuck, and I have to clean it. I just haven't taken time to do it, so I've been playing this one. I'll play this one till this one gets stuck. So I have two chromatics over there that I got to clean and fix, and it just like, well, I'd rather just play the one that works, even though I'm not quite as much of a fan of it. Okay. We play this song all the way down to measure 56, and then we come back to measure 12. Okay. It's not meant to be played fast. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me. And probably you guys have already figured out, but it's one of the things I do. I'm singing the song in my head as I'm playing it. I'm obviously peeking at the sheet music, the standard notation to see how long notes are supposed to be held. But for the most part, I'm hearing the music or hearing the lyrics in my head while I'm playing. And I find that to be a more effective way to make the sound correct, to make the idea behind the song correct. If I'm busy just staring at the notes, I end up sounding a little choppier, I think. But I think if I'm hearing the words in my head, those words are somehow magically being transmitted into my harmonica and coming out as a more meaningful expression of what the song is. And so that's what I recommend. That's why I think it might have been Marianne or it might have been Marilyn who said, "Hey, can we always have the tab notes on top of the lyrics so they're right underneath the sheet music?" And I thought, that there's some argument that that's a good idea. On the other hand, I like them right underneath the lyrics, so I can be playing putting my harmonica notes correct, but I'm reading the sheet music or reading the lyrics as I'm going along. And to me, I end up feeling like that's a more meaningful way to play. All right, two times, we're sort of two times through, right? Down to 56, come back to 12, and then play to the end. Patience, let the song happen. Okay, see what you can do. 1, 2, 3. Phew. First time through, not so bad. Second time through, got pretty choppy. What I find, I don't know if you guys find this, have this tendency to start letting my mind drift a little bit. This is especially in this song for some reason. It's like, oh, what am I going to have for lunch? And pretty soon you're messing up, right? And so I do think these longer songs are easy to fall asleep a little bit on them. The other thing is we have this tendency to with all these draws to be like, oh God, I don't want to do another draw sort of thing. And so get that. Plus, getting all those button pushes in there. If Frances was here, I don't think she's here today. She'd be very happy. Don't get off, push that button so much. All right, I'm trying to keep these classes a tiny bit shorter than we were doing previously so that you have a little bit of time just to work on your own and to go through the weekly list and get all those up to speed so that by Friday you're able to really knock them out. And so they'll have plenty of tunes by Friday. Guys, check in later, well, first early tomorrow morning and see if Bojangles made it. That's one of my afternoon goals. It was yesterday's afternoon goal, didn't work out, but I'm pretty darn close to getting that one ready to post. And then I'll find us something for Chromatic, and that may be Friday, that may be Thursday, but hopefully tomorrow. And hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope the New Year's is treating you well, and hope you're playing well, right? And spending a little bit of that Santa money on new harmonicas, right? The cheap ones are fine. The cheap ones work, right? But they're not as good as the expensive ones. It's like a piano. You find a piano in the church basement. It's a piano. It kind of works, but it's not as good as the Yamaha concert grand sitting on the stage over at Betcher, over at the concert hall or something. So it works. It's just not as good. Lindy says one thing I like about Honor. Let's see. I don't know where we left off, Christine. Evelyn Waddington. Okay. Good. Marianne, amazingly, this is not as hard as it was week 2. Isn't that something? We're on week whatever now, week 90, not that many, week 30 or something. We're on harmonica lesson number 70 something. When you started off, this was a pretty challenging song. Not quite as hard as it used to be. That's exciting. That means you're better, right? That's the person we're competing with, is us in the past. That's the person we got to be better than. So that's not drift, it's hypoxia. I'm not thinking about lunch. I'm thinking about dying, right? That's a lot of breathing on that song. That's funny, Marcia. Good for you. Still challenging though. Yeah, okay. If the minute music's not challenging, it means you've given up, right? That means you're playing songs that you don't care about, and everything's hard. Everything is hard. I was playing Frere Jacques on guitar today, and there's plenty of things that kept me busy. So, yeah. Let's see. Thanks so much. See you later, Lindy. Evelyn, good to see you. See you later. Breathing better today. That's good, Diane. Right? That's exciting. Yeah. And getting back into it is a little bit challenging. Pauline, good to see you. That was fun. It was fun. Good music today. Sandy, I'll see you tomorrow or later today, probably. And Fran, 36 measure 6. 36. Oh yeah, that's where I blew it too, Fran. That's absolutely. I got through there. I was just like, my timing was all wrong. My draws were all not doing the thing, pushing the button when I shouldn't and not pushing it when I should. Yeah, that section there, oddly, I think it's because the melody changes there. Beautiful dreamer, queen of my song. I think that the melody changes a little bit there, and so we have a tendency to blow it there. So awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you and I are on the same page, Fran. Kat, you're welcome. Good to see you. I will see all of you, some of you later today, and I'll see the rest of you tomorrow. Have a good afternoon. Thanks, Don.